welcome to, I almost said Tier List Tuesday, Fancast Friday. No, it's the end of the week, guys, not at the beginning of the week. So, we are going to be fan casting the next T'Challa, specifically T'Challa, not Black Panther, because there's technically Shuri as Black Panther, but Kevin Feige has teased that there is going to be a reset after Secret Wars, and a lot new, like they did confirm that they're probably going to have a new Captain America, new Iron Man. But with Chadwick Boseman unfortunately no longer with us, I would like to think that they are probably going to now finally recast Black Panther in that role. And there are plenty of great actors to fill that role. Yes, Chadwick Boseman had big shoes to fill, but I think Mr. Boseman, if he could tell us if he was still here, I don't think he would want the character to die with him, because this is a character that has existed long before him and will exist long after him. So I think he would want this character to live on past him. And I think there are plenty of great actors that could take up the reins of specifically the T'Challa Black Panther. So with all of that, let's get into it. Also, hello, Monique, and hello, Anthony. I forgot to say that before. But hey, let's get into the show. Also, Dan's here. Hello, Dan. How are you doing today?
I'm here as the voice of God, if you believe in that sort of thing.
Behold, the voice of God. Anyway. But here we are. Obviously, this was not picked by us, but picked by you guys. Although Matthew Lillard was very close to getting that placement, unfortunately, Joker and Harley Quinn were beat out by these two, and Matthew Lillard in the DCU, because he did briefly talk about the other day how he worked on the Scooby-Doo movies, and he still wants to work with James Gunn again. So he's like, I'm waiting on that call, and I want to work with James Gunn again, and whatever is in the DCU, I'll take it. And so, like, you know what? Let's throw him in there, see what he can do. So with that, he will be on the next poll. But you guys chose the Wakandan hero, Black Panther. So, obviously, we are going to be talking about him today. And it's very exciting because I had a lot of great choices. Obviously, I could only stick it to 5. There were so many great ones. Well, technically 8 if we count our honorable mentions, but a lot of great choices, a lot of great choices to talk about, and I'm very curious to know Dan's thoughts. I'm very curious to know your thoughts. So let's get into it. Yes, thank you, Yash. But let's jump into it before I filibuster for too long. But the first one I have, this is the obvious one. This is the one that was on that concept art that was leaked until the Russo brothers said it was fake. That Damon Idris, he is one of the biggest rumors for the character. The dude is popping off. As I say in one of the pros, he is a rising star that Marvel could use to their advantage. Because, this guy's rising. A lot of people are really starting to like him. Let's use that for this new Black Panther that we have. He has big budget blockbuster experience with the grandiose F1 that managed to outgross a Superman movie. So that's awesome as well. Damon Idris, I think, would be a great choice. And he has proven it in both TV and in films. I think he was in a really good show. I think it was called Snowfall, unless I'm thinking of another one. But
it was Snowfall. I think I'm pretty sure.
So it was Snowfall.
Yeah.
But yes, I think he has proven time and time again that he is a great TV and film actor, and I think he has a lot going for him. I thought he was great in F1. I thought he played cocky douchebag absolutely perfectly, although he would play a very different character as T'Challa, who was like more regal and more stoic in terms of like being a king of Wakanda. So, however, Damon Idris does have quite a few. I mean, he is a rising star, so he might be busy with some upcoming projects. So there is that as well. I mean, F1 might be getting a sequel, and he might be into like some other stuff that he might be getting roles for. And with that, he is only 34. I decided to include the age this time around because I do think the age is a proper proponent, because we were talking about Ben Barnes as Batman before, he might be too old. So we're talking about the age. So I'm like, I feel like the age is very important here. And with that, he might be, too young. Like they want someone a little bit older. And even when they start to reboot this thing, reset, whatever the word they want to use, he might still be a little bit too young. They might want to look for someone a little bit older. But and he might not be interested in superhero franchises right now. Maybe he wants to focus on his craft a little bit more. Yeah, F1 was a big step. He worked with a lot of big name actors on that movie. He worked with a big name director. But he's like, you know what? I don't want to really do superhero stuff right now. So he might not be interested in that. Good idea putting ages. Yes, thank you, Tony. Thank you. Well, we will be getting into that, Tony. All right, Yash, calm down. But I think
Gavin would be great.
I think, yeah. What do you have to say, Dan? Sorry, I've been filibustering a little bit too long.
I think it'd be great. It's just a matter of like what age profile they're going for, because he would be much younger than what we had before. So yeah, I just think it depends on if they're going with a young, if they age up, the young T'Challa, Damson Idris could be perfect for that. But Chadwick Boseman definitely played an older version, maybe somebody in their 40s potentially. Not saying Damson Idris can't pull that off, but it would be different than what he's done so far.
Yeah, I think so. But I think he would be great. Now, in terms of likelihood, I would like to think he's a 9. I'm going to say 9. I'm going to say, woo, baby, that's what I'm talking about. I think, yes, he might be a little bit young, because Chadwick Boseman was, I think, 39, 40 years old when he was in Captain America Civil War. But, like, honestly, he can grow into the role. Maybe if, like, they do a reset, they do more of, like, maybe T'Chaka's still alive, and, they might be doing some very different things. But the age is definitely a hindrance, but I think he would be so fucking good in the role that we're like, you know what? He can look like an older guy. We could put some makeup on him. We could do something in VFX. It's fine. Yeah, no, I mean, Tom Holland was in his 20s when he was playing a high schooler, so I think it would be fine. Yeah, I mean, obviously they could, if they don't do a T'Challa, they could do T'Challa Jr. So, little T'Challa Jr. gonna cry. But whatever it is, if it is the T'Challa or T'Challa Jr., I think either would work for him. But yeah. The next one I have is John David Washington. I mean, Denzel Washington is apparently going to be in Black Panther 3 in a cameo, which he let loose, which Ryan Coogler was pissed about. So there is that. But John David Washington is 41. He's definitely older than Damon Idris, and I think that would certainly help his case. He's perfect age to take on the role. He has big budget blockbuster experience, not as like big franchises, but in terms of big blockbusters like The Creator and working with Sir Nolan next to a Batman, so that helps. And he's a great actor. Black Klansman, I don't think he was nominated for that. He might have been, I don't remember. But that showed that, like, yeah, like he is a great fucking actor. I mean, maybe, great acting is genetic. So, yeah. Well, I'm trying to pick like bigger names. Obviously, you could pick a really small name, really unknown, but yeah. But there's possible controversy with nepotism. So
like, I don't know if it's nepotism. He's a good enough of an actor, and he also,
I know he is great on his own, but there's like people get so up their own ass about nepotism nowadays. So I just was gonna include it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me throw that in.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: he's what is the age range you want? I would say very late 30s. I think no younger than like 38, 39, and like maybe like no older than like 42, 43. So yeah,
I think that's a bit too
I thought it was about
for
practice. Not about talent. I thought it was about practice.
Was it about practice? But I think it could be a little wider, the age range, and I think John David Washington can play the nuanced element of the character, like the more understated side of T'Challa that Chadwick Boseman played so well. Like he has screen presence, which is hard to, you can't say that about every actor out there. So I think that's what be his his best attribute. So yeah.
Yeah. But he might be uninterested in superhero media. Yeah, he was fan cast a lot as Green Lantern, but I don't think he said himself that he wants to play that role. And he might be a little bit too famous now because, like, he was pretty much hit the ground running with Black Klansman, so he might, and Tenet, so he might be like too famous now outside of the whole nepotism thing. But obviously, that's kind of up to the person if that's the case. But I think that would be a nice. I don't think he's like up there. I think he might be a little bit too famous. Furthermore, I think Damon Idris, they would want someone like a Damon Idris who's like a rising star, or like a medium level star. But I think John David Washington's a little bit too high for them right now. Because Chadwick Boseman, he was known, but he wasn't like a name. Black Panther made him a name. So yeah, no, I said that before. Like Denzel Washington, I think he confirmed that he is going to pretty much appear in Black Panther 3. So there is that.
Yeah, I think he got in trouble with Disney over it. So he's like, I'm not going to say anything until Ryan Coogler does. So.
But yeah, I think John David Washington would be great, but maybe not the most likely. But the next person I have is David Johnson. Now, if you want to go really young, and I'm talking about you want to do T'Challa Jr. or bring in a variant of who's like very early in the Black Panther like spectrum, then I would say go with David Johnson. He's played a good-hearted, heroic character. The Long Walk is a fine example of this. He has big franchise experience with Alien Romulus, and he's led films and TV quite well, and he has a lot of great acting experience, and he's a really good actor. However, in terms of if they want to like reset it and have not T'Challa Jr., but just regular T'Challa take over the man, just be Black Panther, then he would be way too young. I think 32 is definitely too young. However, I think if they're going with the T'Challa Jr. side of things, then he would fill that very well. But if they're wanting, I imagine when I was doing this, I was imagining like recasting T'Challa from Chadwick Boseman to another actor. So I wasn't really thinking of the kid that was introduced in Wakanda Forever. So, but yeah.
I mean, his voice alone
Johnson,
would be amazing. I was gonna say his voice alone commands attention.
So, he definitely has an authoritative voice.
Exactly.
But he's not quite famous enough. Yeah, he's had 2 really big movies and he had a lead role on a TV show, but I think he's not famous enough. I think he would need 1 or 2 more big movies under his belt and be older to really, showcase like he's a big talent. So I think he's like, I wouldn't say he's like maybe a slight step above nobody. Like they don't want like someone who's a total nobody, but I think John David Washington, too famous. David Johnson might be a little bit too much of a nobody. So, I think you need to, Yash. I think you need a nap. I think you need to go to bed, take a melatonin gummy, and just, I think Tony is right on the money there. But he does have a busy schedule because there might be dog is barking. There is an Alien Romulus coming back, and they pretty much confirmed he's coming back. So he might be busy with that, and I think he has 2 or 3 other film projects in the meantime. So he might be a little bit too busy. But with that, in terms of the actual like T'Challa, that not T'Challa Jr., just regular T'Challa, I think it's even odds. I think he has enough greatness behind it, but it just like again the age is the biggest thing. The age is like, sure, you could probably get around it, but I mean, he did play a teenager and he barely got away with that. So maybe they can try to do the opposite and make him older. But I think he would be great in the role, but he might be a little bit too young for what they want. Might be. I don't know. We'll see. I think people got up in their ass about TJ. I think you can still have them back in the 3rd movie and have them be tutored by his father. or she could be Black Panther and his dad could be. That could be an interesting way. That could be an interesting dynamic. Or now that they're bringing in X-Men, they might make it so that he's married to Storm. So who knows? But we'll see if that's the case. But yeah, I think pretty even odds for David Johnson. Now, next up is Jovan Adepo. Now, I think in terms of age-wise, I think he's much better. He definitely looks a little bit older than his age. And he's appeared in superhero media before. He appeared in Watchmen as the retconned Hooded Justice, because in the original story, he was actually white, and they made him a black man who was pretending to be white, which was an interesting change. But, you know, whatever. Neither here nor there. That's just how Lindelof wanted to showcase the story. And he has a lot of great experience from all different types of projects. He's done like horror movies, he's done dramas, he's done sci-fi, he's done this, that, and the other thing. So he's had a lot of stuff under his belt. He's had horror, a lot of stuff under his belt. So he has a wide range resume, and I think that's really great. And he also led a film where he played a very heroic character, Overlord. Fucking phenomenal movie, horror war film. He was absolutely great in that. However, some of the cons might be he might have some scheduling conflicts with the upcoming series It, Welcome to Derry, because that's going to be on for 3 seasons. We don't know if he's going to appear in the next 2 seasons, so that might be a scheduling conflict. Not totally. It's only one TV show, but maybe that's enough, because with TV shows nowadays, like filming for like 3 years and then making the next season, so it's like, who knows. But he might not be interested in more superhero projects. He might have been like, no, I was in Watchmen. That was very different. I don't want to be in the MCU. And he might not be the right fit for the role. Like maybe Marvel wants something very, very different. So
also could being the most dark horse candidate, it could work out in the best way possible. You never know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't think they're too old at all. I don't think they want like a mid-20s like fucking T'Challa. I mean, Chadwick Boseman was 40, and I can imagine they probably want to be at that age range, maybe a little bit younger, like so maybe like mid to late 30s if they want to go younger. But obviously we'll have to wait and see. But I think Jovan Adepo could be a very, very good addition. I don't know if you are familiar with him very much, but I'm curious to know your thoughts.
No, I haven't seen a ton of his work, but he does have that screen. I mean, he has a screen presence, but like I said, he's the biggest dark horse candidate. So my expectations aren't really anything. So he would have room to impress. So that's my plus side for him.
Yeah, no, but I think he has a good age. He has a good presence. He's played good characters in the past. He has a wide range of resume, and with that, I think I'm gonna put him as let him cook. I think the 8 is likely because he's a little bit. I think the biggest thing that prevents him from being better is that he's again too unknown, very different pick, a very out there pick. But that might be what Marvel's looking for, but it might not be, because I think that's the biggest con. That's why he's not higher. But I think he's like, when they eventually want to cast T'Challa, I think like 2 or 3 years down the line, I think he would be in that perfect range. So there's that. And I think from what I have seen of him, I've only seen a couple things with him, but he's a very good actor, and I think he would do the role very well. And now Tony already spoiled it. Well, technically the thumbnail spoiled it because it's right down there. But now we get to Aldis Hodge, who honestly I think would be perfect. He's at the perfect age. He's at 39. He would be a little bit older if they start recasting Black Panther, and he's got the perfect look for the character. He just has that look of like, don't fuck with me, stoicism, kingly authoritativeness, but he also has the look and body of like a true blue hero. And he has superhero blockbuster experience. He can command a room in a fucking stupid, funky superhero outfit in Black Adam. So Black Adam to Black Panther, even though he wasn't Black Adam in the movie. I know, but he was Hawkman. But Hawkman, everyone says he was the best part of that fucking movie along with Pierce Brosnan. So that shows even in shitty superhero media, he can still fucking kill it. and he has been in a perfect amount of TV and movies to be a name, but not too famous. Like, people know the name Aldis Hodge, but he's not like a nobody like Jovan Adepo would be. So he's like the perfect balance. And here's the thing. Marvel might not want him. Dumb reasoning, but hey, maybe Marvel's stupid, so, you know. But hey, he has said he did want to play Jon Stewart, but unfortunately that was taken by Aaron Pierre. So, but hey, he might want to stick with DC. Maybe he prefers DC and doesn't want to go to Marvel. But and there's possible scheduling conflicts with future projects. But I think Aldis Hodge is pretty much near perfect for this role. I think Marvel would be dumbasses not to get him as the next Black Panther. Absolute cinema. 10 out of 10 for me. I think Aldis Hodge would be perfect for this role. And I think, Dan, I think you would agree with that. I think he might be your favorite next to Damon Idris.
He's my favorite pick. I was just like, you nailed it with this one, because he's playing Alex Cross right now on Amazon Prime, and I'm pretty sure another season coming. So he's got stuff going on, but I mean, yeah, he would not give up. I hope he wouldn't give up the opportunity to play T'Challa, other than unless he's the actor that they offered the role to reportedly, and he was like, maybe the timing isn't right. Like, we'd never learn who that actor was, but Aldis Hodge would be great. He's also shown more of his acting ability in Alex Cross, like that nuance, that screen presence, the softer side.
Here's the thing. I mentioned, sorry to cut you off, Dan, but he did mention how after Black Adam, he did want to play Jon Stewart, because back when they were casting Lanterns, he threw his hat in the ring, and he's like, hey, I'd love to play Jon Stewart, but I think he was a little bit too old. But he's not too old to play Black Panther. I think, sure, buddy. But yeah, I think Aldis Hodge, I think he would be out of my 5 picks. That's why I saved him for last. I think he would be perfect. He's at the perfect age. He's got the perfect look. He's got the perfect cadence, mannerisms, look, acting ability. I think
the voice.
Outside of scheduling conflicts, I could not think of like any cons for him, because he was just that perfect for the role, genuinely. I mean, look at that chest.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I agree.
Like, he's got the shirtless superhero look already. Boom, there you go.
Have you seen his arms?
But how tall is he?
Tall enough.
So
he's a tall.
So to go over our main picks real quick before we get into honorable mentions, we have Damon Idris, we have John David Washington, we have David Johnson, Jovan Adepo, and what seems like the favorite out of a lot of people here is Aldis Hodge. Now, let's get into the honorable mentions. Yes, Swallow T'Challa. With that, honorable mention time. So I think these are definitely very out there picks if you want to go for more like outside of Toss and Cole, like more like African based actors. But I'm probably going to butcher this man's name, and I greatly apologize. Bobs Olusanmoken. Again, apologies if I mispronounce
Babs
that.
Is in Star Trek.
He's in Strange New Worlds.
Love him.
So, and he was also in Dune. He's a very unique choice. He's a very different choice, but I think, like, I was kind of looking at him, like, he definitely, the cheekbones make him, like, seem more villain-esque. I mean, like, just that look. But, like, honestly, then I was like, he's in Strange New Worlds. He was in this. He was that. Like, honestly, I think he would be a very unique choice, but I think it'd be very different. I don't think he would ever get the role, but I think he would be a good choice for the role. Toss and Cole, he wasn't great in, Doctor Who, but I blame that on writing and direction there. I think he's a good actor. He just needs to prove himself in that, and he was already a part of Sci-Fi franchise, so I think he could do it. Yes, he was great in that. Yes, I think he was awesome there. And Tongai Kirisa, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But he has some blockbuster experience. I think he was in Rise of the Beasts, Transformers, so I think he would be good for the role. But these are just like a few like out there choices that I'm like, okay, maybe not my forefronts, but I think like maybe if Marvel really wants to go out there for their choices, then I think these guys would be good. Yeah, exactly. We're talking about the character after the alleged reset after Secret Wars, because Kevin Feige said that it's going to get reset. They're going to kind of soft reboot it. And so I would imagine that like dead characters are going to come back. You already confirmed Captain America and Iron Man are probably going to come back with new actors. Now, considering that the actor who played Black Panther is no longer with us, I can imagine that they're finally going to bite the bullet and recast him. And that's who this character would be. This is not for T'Challa Jr. This is not for a multiversal variant. This is for the new T'Challa post Secret Wars. That's what this was. That could be, yeah, that could be. I would like to see like him as like Killmonger, but like in Wakanda. I think that could be a very cool way of doing it. Do you agree that with people that say it would be like killing the character again if they do a variant of Black Panther from another universe as the mainline Black Panther? I don't think so. I don't think that a multiversal variant should be the new Black Panther. Maybe he could show up in Secret Wars, but like I would imagine that they're probably going to pick a new guy for him and just stick with that. So, yeah, we have to wait to see what Kevin Feige does. I don't know if you have any ideas. I don't know if you care about any of this, Dan, but I don't know if you...
They took that date away for that untitled Marvel movie before Secret Wars, so I have a feeling maybe Black Panther 3 might have moved, and that might be where they might be recasting. So, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so my honorable mentions is Babs, Tossin, and Tungai. I think they would be good, but obviously I think Damon Idris and Aldis Hodge are probably my two favorites for out of all the ones. Regis-Jean Page, I think I just can't see him. I think, like, to me, don't get me wrong, all of these men are very attractive, but like he's too pretty for me. Like, I just imagine Guy from Bridgerton. Like, that's what I imagine. Like, he's too, like, ooh, like, kind of, like, and apparently he's a bit of a prima donna, because that's why he left Bridgerton. But he's like, ooh, I'm, like, kind of too good for this kind of thing. So he's not the vibe I fit for, like, T'Challa. I'm sure he would be fine, but he's just, like, kind of too pretty. I didn't put Regis-Jean Page. That was the thing. But Ernest Kingsley Jr. I don't know who that is. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. I very much agree with this. I think the fact that the What If episode, the Marvel Zombie spinoff, like the fact that we didn't have we didn't have a voice for Black Panther, and we just had Spider-Man narrate it to like tribute Chadwick. It's like, bro, like, I mean, I hate to sound mean, but like the man died 5 years ago. Like, he has a grandiose legacy. He was a great actor that was taken from us far too soon, and it's a very, very sad thing. And the family said it's okay to recast. This is, to me personally, in terms of the character of Black Panther, is the fact that they keep going back to it. It's sort of like, it's sort of this like surface level inflated ego type of thing to me. Like the first couple of years, like having like this big story as a tribute in Wakanda Forever. Yeah, that's really good. What they did with that, I agree with that. Having Shuri take it, awesome. But to me, I just think now it's been half a decade. I think now you're just kind of doing it for brownie points at this point, at least from Marvel. Like, you could still honor the man, you can still honor what he did, but I feel like it would just be kind of saddening to Chadwick and the family, because even Chadwick said that they should recast, to just kind of, move on from what he did. Obviously, still hold on to what he did, but eventually move on, because now it's just coming from like an egotistical point of view. Like, oh, we still honor him. Like, you can honor him. Just, it's a character that is more than just Chadwick Boseman. You know. Yeah, Shamar Moore is kind of too pretty for, like, it just, I can't see them. At least, like, I will say Shamar Moore still at least has like a ruggedness to him. Rajon Page, like, I don't have like see a ruggedness to him. Like, yeah, you have to have like the kingly authoritativeness, but like, you know, I feel like Rajon Page is just kind of too pretentious to play Black Panther, but that's just me. But yeah. So in terms of what you guys have said in regards to hold on, let me just grab what you guys have said.
Yeah, we got him saved here, and
yes, you know, I'm just kind of grabbing some more Morcanas here. But yeah, anyway, so let's get into Will Smith. I think that's a very weird choice. The man is just way too old. The man's in his 60s, and I don't think he wants to join a superhero franchise. Idris Elba for T'Chaka, that could be definitely interesting, but I think he's too famous. Shamar Moore could be good. We already mentioned Michael B. Jordan, like as sort of like an alt Killmonger kind of thing. Ernest Kingsley Jr., who I am going to, who was in the Sandman show, and apparently Washington Black is another one. So I haven't heard of the guy and I haven't seen him in anything, but I'm sure he would be a good choice. Boris Kajo, yeah, he's way too old. I don't think he's too pretty. I think he's too old. But yeah, I think well, boom, we got you there, movie spud. Boom, there you go. I think Kingsley Ben-Adir could be good. I think he could be good. I haven't seen him in a ton, but from what, like clips and stuff, I think he could be a good. I think he could be good. But yeah, I'm glad we got you. Yeah, no, you're good. Just be kind, rewind, and you're all good. But that is gonna be it for Fancast Friday. Now, obviously we have a new obviously we have more to talk about in regards to the sub stuff we do. Obviously we have a tier list Tuesday. So this is what it's gotten 10 votes. MCU Phase 4 is behind Batmobiles. All right, okay. All of them are good except for the Batman, except for the Dark Knight one. But yeah, I think if you want to, you know, I think this is a good poll. I think, guys, for Halloween movies, it's spooky season. I wanna rank fucking Halloween movies, guys. Come on. But yeah, if you want to do the tier list Tuesday one, try to do that before Tuesday, and before we get that in, make sure to go vote, and then please let us know any stuff we do for the next Fancast Friday. Obviously, Matthew Lillard in the DCU is going to come back. So
thanks everybody. It's been a great
thank you
week.
for watching.
Thanks, Sean, for covering a lot of doing a great job. Thank you, everyone. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, all the usual stuff.
Hell yeah. But make sure to give us some any ideas for Fancast Friday, and we'll try to upload that this morning. So yeah, back to the end of the line. Get the fuck out of here. Honestly, I could see it, but we'll see. We'll see. But thanks for watching. Oh, let's get that goddamn music out of here. But yes, thank you for watching. We love and appreciate all of you. You are wonderful, great, and amazing. Like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you know when we go live. And remember the most important thing. In addition to Jeff Snyder fucking sucks, but remember, outside of that, the most important thing, Wakanda forever.